Want help to grow your business? Download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of How I Doubled. My name is Kvist. Well, operating only 3.5 years and located in the beautiful Sydney, Australia, Unica Salon has already become a highly successful and profitable business. With a turnover already exceeding $500,000, today we're joined by Managing Director Susana Montero to share some of her secrets. Susana, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Pete.
Now, the reason I love these businesses is because it's applicable, the things that we'll talk about are applicable to all kinds of service businesses, aren't they?
Yeah, that's right. Right.
Okay, so let's start. What does Unica Salon do?
Okay, so we provide hair and makeup services in our area. And with that, we find that the clients are really responsive to that. They love the fact that they can have the hair and makeup done in the salon for any occasion.
Now, you've been in the industry for some time.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, I've been hairdressing for 34 years this month.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Started when you were 6?
I did, and I started with my apprenticeship in an era that apprenticeships were very scarce. But my tenacity gained me an apprenticeship, and I stayed with that company for a good 8 years, and very successful in what I did. From my TAFE education, which is our registered training organisation that we do our training with, right through to when I ended up in Sydney as a senior hairdresser and managed a lot of salons and just gained a lot of experience.
The industry has obviously changed quite a bit since those days. What do you think are the biggest shifts that have been made?
I think more than anything, it's customer service. Providing real solutions for your clients. It's not about just doing a haircut or doing a colour. I started when perming was massive, and then a generation started gaining grey hair, and so they stopped the perming and they started colouring. So colour made a massive revolution in our industry. Well into the 90s, we were doing a lot of colour. So customer service and colour has been a big growth in the industry, definitely.
So you're obviously very successful on the tools, as it were.
Yes.
What made you make the decision to jump to the other side and go, you know what, I can be a business owner as well?
I think it was about timing for me. I had a very strong vision of what I wanted in my life as far as a salon owner. Surrounding myself with real experts in the industry allowed me to gain a lot of knowledge, which I pursued all the time. I was always retraining myself in things that I didn't know very well. And then eventually, through the successes that I had with running salons for other people, I thought, well, I think it's time now for me to do this for myself. And so, yeah, it was, and then just researching for the right location and all of those things, and patience, which I didn't have at first, but yeah, eventually I did.
And when you did make that jump into owner, was it what you expected, or were there a few nasty shocks?
I think I would pretty much managed to visualise what it was going to be like. Sometimes I look back and I go, what the hell am I doing? But that's only because I feel tired. But in reality, no, I think I pretty much thought it's what's happening is how I thought it would. Yeah.
Yeah. And did you decide to go it alone?
Yeah, I did because through other people's mistakes, which is a great way to learn. I found that partnerships weren't working out with a lot of people that I looked up to in
Why do you
in the
think that
industry.
was?
I think it's because egos get in the way. More than anything, it's egos. It's, I work more than you work, and I think that wasn't well planned. So planning is really important, and I just don't think that I didn't have anybody who had the same vision as me either. And that's very hard, unless you've got someone with the same vision, it's not going to work. So, yeah.
So how did you motivate yourself if it's just team of one at this stage? How did you motivate yourself?
I guess by talking to people and asking them what they did, how they started.
So this is other people in the industry?
Yeah, that's right. Leading salon owners in the industry, which I'm fortunate enough to be connected to. And the great thing about our industry, it's very sharing and caring. So, people are very open to discuss with you, their experiences.
That's very different to, say, the restaurant game, whereby it doesn't matter if you have a restaurant in Sydney and someone has a restaurant in Perth or in New York or in Paris or in Amsterdam. They don't want to share their secrets because that's their IP, that's their secrets. But you're saying that you reached out and people were willing to share.
Absolutely, yeah. I had no problems with that whatsoever. If you show that you are genuinely interested in doing something the right way, our industry receives that really well.
And how did you make that reach out? How did you make that connection?
Well, I connected with somebody who's a leader in our industry quite a few years ago. She was building this organisation called the Australian Hairdressing Council, and that was the CEO, who's Sandy Chong, and she created an organisation that develops accreditation for our industry, and I knew that that's what I wanted for my business, to be respected and recognised, not only in my industry but within the public. So that was my first connection, and that is brought together by a group of hairdressers that share their knowledge and their resources with those who are like-minded.
And how was the original contact made? Was it at an event? Was it via the phone? Was it email? How was that contact
It was
made?
at an event when it hadn't even started, and it was at an event, and I was talking with her, and she was telling me about it, and she was starting to spread the word that it was going to happen. And so when I opened my business, it was in full swing with signing up for memberships, and I just wanted that straight away, and it happened quite easily, and because our industry, we do talk a lot amongst each other, the word of the Australian Hairdressing Council was spread quite quickly. Yeah.
Okay, which rolls beautifully into our first point today that we're going to discuss, which is training and education. And for viewers that maybe aren't aware, we always break it down into the 5 key things that have helped you double your turnover. So we'll kick off with training and education. How important is this in your industry today?
It's everything. If you don't invest in it, and it doesn't have to cost you a lot, but when it does cost you, that's just an invaluable experience. So it is everything. If you have a plan for your business and you need things executed in a certain way, like your procedures and the standards that you require in your business, you need to train that. So you need to train that within your business. You need to outsource for your skills. You need to outsource the training. There's always something new going on, and you do have to be on top of it. And if you're not, then complacency sets in, and when that happens, you lose clients.
So I can see 4 levels of training here. I can see external for staff and for the management team, including yourself.
Yep.
And I can see internal for staff and the management team, including yourself. Obviously, that's a lot of areas that need to be covered off. You need the external experts, but you also need to filter that down internally. What is the most important piece of that education? Is it where you get trained, or is it the staff training? Where do you see that most important piece?
Look, there's two levels, I would say. There's my level, where I go out and I source out what I need for my business, and then I transfer that to my team at a team level. So that'll be, methods of customer service, for instance, or what's new, what's come out new. And then the second level would be sending them out to outsourced education, whether it be for cutting, colouring, or learning techniques of communication is a big one. So those are the two levels. And then, of course, I have my apprentices who I train on site. I have a great relationship. We do a flexible learning program, and then I send them to their facility, their training facility, once a month, and they're assessed there, which is a great thing for me, because it lets me know how I'm going with their training.
And you're a very new business. A lot of, in the grand scheme of things of your career, of course,
Yep.
Other businesses out there that are starting off, they might be thinking, training is expensive. Training is expensive. Is it an investment that absolutely must be made? How much do you put towards it? What are your thoughts?
To continue enjoying this presentation, download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.